man. What the heck? It's crazy, man. If a woman leaves, yes, a woman leaves, yes, a woman leaves, yes, a woman leaves.
One, two. Check, check, check. Here we go. Welcome to that time, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting a little late today. Our apologies. We had some weather and some technical difficulties, but we are here. Shout out to everybody on the chat. DJ Rec, what it do? This is the Straight Up Podcast, Sunday, this 13th day of June. Let's meet the panel. As you all know, up first, from Jersey, now in Los Angeles area, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for See Me Hustle. From Jersey, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the Jersey Sun, aka Bricks. Up next, from Jersey and now in the Atlanta area, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Brother Ane.
What's up?
And last but not least, from Jersey, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Cage, aka P.O.D, aka Mr. Fisherman. Silence, siéntese. And I'm DJ Wild Body. This is the Straight Up Podcast, episode number 12. Still loyal to the system? Question mark. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? It's Jesus. It's Straight Up Podcast, episode number 12. Got a lot to talk about today. But before we get going, we're going to give some love to our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on here. Let's give it up for this episode of Straight Up Podcast, brought to you by Pop Pop's Woodshop. Pop Pop's Woodshop, specializing in custom woodworking, coffee table, china cabinets. They do it all. They're dedicated to providing you with top quality work at the utmost professionalism. Get ahead and call them today, 1-800-286-5233. Use the code PICK, P-I-C-K. That's 1-800-286-5233. A lot of work done, I can attest. Got my studio desk built, and I got some record cabinets built. For the last, I've got one, my desk built 5 years ago. It's still holding up. I got a couple record cabinets done a couple of years ago. He made an encasing for my my Ableton Push. He does a great job. Everything is to spec, and he also uses glue, no screws, and no cheap wood, and he does a great stain job. So give Pop Pops a call. Shout out to Pop Pops for sponsoring this episode of Straight Up Podcast once again. So yeah, we're done. How's everybody doing out there today?
Everybody's good, man. I'm good.
Yeah. Bad weather. We got bad weather out here. It's thundering and lightning. And we lose power. Hopefully we don't. We'll try to boot back up. But yeah, shout out to shout out to my son, man. He graduated from high school this weekend. I just got back into town a few moments ago. Shout out to him, man. Class of 2021. Shout out to everybody out there, class of 2021. Shout out to Clark the Spark, his daughter graduating from the University of Washington. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the graduates, man. It's been a rough couple of years, man. At the graduation, you could see these kids, they were relieved. I know my son was, just the stuff that was thrown at him. And I guess we kind of, when it's all said and done and you look back into the past and the last couple of years and you've seen, they had to get out of school, then they were homeschooled, they were throwing that at them. Everything wasn't up to speed with the homeschooling. So a lot of them just fell out. Sometimes these kids need classroom instruction sometimes. And if you're used to that for a certain amount of time and all of a sudden you're pulled from that and you have to do stuff online. And I remember, I can attest to that. Their curriculum that was online was crazy. They were just throwing it together. But they did the best job that they could do, and with the amount of time that they had, because they had to stop school and they had to come up with something to keep these kids going. But yeah, you can see the relief on these kids' face yesterday. It was hotter than a bitch out there. But these kids graduated, man. They walked the line. This class in particular is special because it's basically the class that's getting back to normalcy. So yeah, shout out to them, man. And hopefully we can move on and get back on with life. This was the first time I myself had traveled in the last 2 years, so it felt good to get out and drive on the countryside and see what it is. Rest stops and just getting in the car going crazy on the highway. So
congrats to all the graduates.
Yeah, congratulations.
Pot.
Yo, man, your son graduated, man. Like that's good, brother.
Thank you.
I still never got a chance to really meet your son, man. I can't wait to meet him though.
You haven't seen my son, didn't you?
Man, I never met him, man. I can't wait
He
to
was
push
small
him.
when you seen him. He was small.
I'm gonna push him harder. I'm gonna just push him when I see him.
He know who you are.
Yo, did you race him yet or what? Did y'all race yet, man?
Nah.
Nah, y'all ain't race yet, yo.
Nah, I wouldn't race him, man. He ain't got the same DNA that I got. You know what?
Nah, I guess he more on the other side then. He like other stuff then, right?
Yeah, he pretty good at basketball and stuff, man. And he does that. He loves that. But he's one of them. He's got a good game, but he has to work at it. And he don't have natural God-given talent, because I know I didn't have God-given talent at basketball. But he works at it.
But I'm talking about. But does he have legs?
Does he
like
have breakaway speed? Does he have breakaway speed like me? That's what you're trying to ask.
Does he run like a deer?
No, he don't run like a deer like me. I never really raced him, but I know he wasn't as fast as I was when I started. Shout out to my mom in the chat. How you doing, Mom?
Hey, Mom.
There she is. Hello.
Yeah. Potty over here falling asleep. Pull the car over. About to kill the whole entourage. But yeah.
Somebody was throwing out a whole thing of marijuana, though. Mad as hell.
Hey.
And there's something like what was the cops was pulling people over or something?
Yeah, so we in the sticks of Mississippi. Ain't nobody pulling nobody over, man.
Yo, throughout a whole
we in Vicksburg, Mississippi, man. We ain't going nowhere near any where crazy. Well, yeah. So, I guess you guys missed it last night. Real quick, we're gonna skim over sports and we'll get to our main topic. So last night, UFC 263. One of the best cards of the year, I must say. Which headline Israel Alessandra against Marvin Vittori. You also had Figueroa versus Moreno. You had Leon Edwards taking on the champ. The old OG Nate Diaz. The crowd favorite, man. They love Nate Diaz, whether lose or win. So you had some other Jamala Hill, Paul Craig. Too many to be named, but we'll just stick with the last three. The last three fights, Nate Diaz taking on Leon Edwards, went all the way 5 rounds. Watch this one. This was a good one. Leon Edwards was kind of chipping up Diaz. Diaz never stopped working. He kept on pursuing, trying to get him in some submissions, throwing shots, and he didn't give up. But Leon was catching Diaz for the most of the fight. Fight went to the 5th, and Diaz, the last minute, he caught Leon Edwards slipping. Could have had a chance to take him out, but he didn't. So yeah, Nate Diaz falls to 21-13-0. Doesn't matter. Leon Edwards improves to 19-3. Leon Edwards would have been in line to take on Usman for the welterweight championship, but Colby Covington got that fight. So whoever's the winner of that, Leon Edwards will probably go up against. Moving to the flyweight, they had this was a co-main event. You had Figueroa versus Moreno. Moreno, the crowd favorite. They fought last matches of the ever. That's what they ranked that. These guys was no defense. All it was just straight rocking. They was rocking. Both of them had good chins, man. So they decided to do it again. And Brandon Moreno, the crowd favorite, he actually captured the flyweight UFC championships. The first Mexican-born UFC champion ever. We're just going crazy. So shout out to Brandon Moreno. He beats out Figueroa, gave him his respect. So now Moreno is the new UFC flyweight champion. Moving on to the main event in middleweight, 185. Israel Alessandra, 21-1, coming back down from 205 to 185 to take on Marvin Vettori. These two met up 3 years ago. Israel got the split decision this time. Marvin Vettori thought he had won that fight, but if you all go back and watch the old highlights, he did not win it. But he's one of those guys. He's like the Cowboys fan. You can't tell him that they stink. They always think that they're better. They're the best team in the NFL. He's a kind of guy. Doesn't think he lost a fight, but clearly he did. He took Israel Alessandro down the first fight, and Israel was pretty new to the sport. He came from kickboxing, so But now, it's 3 years later, both fighters are better. Everyone thought that maybe Vettori would have a chance to beat Alessandro because when Alessandro just fought at 205, Blachowicz took him to the ground a few times, and Alessandro couldn't do anything with it. Different weight, different time, different fighter. Marvin Vettori came out to take Alessandro to the ground. Immediately, Alessandro did escape, stands back up, starts banging out. Alessandro captured every last round. He 5-0'd him. Vettori tried to get Alessandro in a rear naked choke. Alessandro reversed it. Very good on the ground. Very surprising that Israel Alessandro can work on the ground. He has one of the highest takedown defense percentage at, I think, 86% takedown defense. Everyone's tried to take him down. He's getting better at standing up and from takedowns, and he works good on the ground. He's starting to be better. He does have his purple belt at jiu-jitsu, so he's just not somebody that has no clue on how to work on the ground. But yeah, Israel Alessandro, unanimous decision, beats out Marvin Vettori. He's going to be taking on Whitaker next as soon as the matchmakers make that fight. So, yeah, that's it with that. Shout out to Alessandro. Shout out to UFC. I know they had some YouTube versus TikTok boxing last night. I couldn't watch that. Did anybody catch that?
Nah, I didn't watch it.
I ain't no TikTok fan.
TikTok versus YouTube. There was a couple of knockouts there. All right. Real quick, moving on to NBA. Got the Nets last night. What happened with last night, Malcolm? Was that last night? I'm sorry.
I didn't play last night.
When did we play? Oh, today.
In a couple hours here.
All right, let me catch up to this.
Who played last night? Somebody played last night, though, didn't they?
Jazz and
Clippers.
Clippers played last
night.
Clippers blew them out.
132 to 106, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Clippers beat the Jazz
on Friday.
Yeah. Suns and Nuggets. Sun lead the series 3-0. Yeah. They beat the Nuggets 116 to 102. You can probably stick a fork in the Nuggets, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Ain't no comeback from that.
It'd be good to see Chris Paul in the conference finals. I'm actually rooting for the Suns there, but I don't think they can beat Utah.
Right.
I think Utah's going to beat the Clippers. But
you think so?
You sound low.
I think
it turn you up a little bit.
How about now? Oh, you still got to turn me up.
A little more.
All right, let me go ahead and work on that. Sorry about that.
Looks like the Jazz. So the Hawks 76ers, people thought that 76 were possibly in trouble. They jump out to a 2-1 lead. They beat the Hawks. Game 3, 127 to 111. So today, Brooklyn Bucks. Today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Brooklyn leads the series 2-1. Is anything did we ever hear anything on Harden's return? He came back yet? He's not going to play?
He's not playing.
Are they expected to see him back this series, or they going to sit him out?
You asking me personally? I don't expect to see him back. But
they should.
I don't know.
Sit him out.
He missed 23 games during the season. Last part of the season, he came back the last 2 games for that right hamstring. You know what I mean? Yeah, he played last series, but the beginning first minute of this series, he hurt it again. So hamstrings are not to mess with, man.
But I think they still gonna win the series.
I think so too.
Without him,
but it's gonna be a lot harder without Harden. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Man, Kevin Durant, one of the best offensive players in the game. He isn't. I mean, I know you need Harden, but can you do it with the big 2? I think you can. Bucks, I don't know what's up with them, man. I think if I was Giannis, I would have got out of there, man. I don't know. They got better, but they didn't get good enough. You got to compete. You got to look at the best team in the league at that time, or a team that's possibly there, and you got to build to beat the best team. And I don't think the Bucks did that. I think if I was Giannis, I would have went down to Miami. This is me.
Well, I think they're missing something, but Giannis needs to make them free throws. So,
True.
Yeah, Giannis got flaws too, man.
True.
Giannis has some flaws. I don't want the ball in his hands in the last, you know what I mean? For the last shot.
But I don't even want him to bring the ball up the court.
I don't like that either. Yeah.
It's what it is, man.
Nah, because all he do is just go straight to the rim, attack the rim.
Like,
you gotta get other
do that
people
spin
involved.
move,
And
everybody's
that's all he
waiting
do.
on that.
That sounds like some high school shit.
Everybody's waiting on that shit. He's fast as hell, dude. I mean, half court, he's incredible.
Yo,
I mean,
yo, what
half
you
court.
Back to the old.
Transition.
He bring you back to the old. He ain't just shoot.
Oh,
Kareem, cool.
Go back to the 3-point line and wait for the. I hate that.
But he don't have moves to me. Like he don't have an inside game really. To me. Like, he don't have a jump shot. Like he's not. He just goes
complete player.
Step dunk, or is that move to the rim spin dunk? You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much.
Hey,
if he can't dunk, he'll do a layup.
Yeah. He just
or transition. That's his whole entire basket, bro.
Now, he needs some moves in that mid-range jump shot. Which one I don't really care about.
Yeah, he's not the whole package. You need someone that you can give the ball to 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So
in this era, because it's like if your team is off from 3-point range in a game, it's like you lose. That's what's stupid about it.
Yeah,
that's what I don't like about it. It's just
a great player, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's 6'11" with 7'5" wingspan and strong as hell and
he's fast
as hell. Like
he's a beast.
He is fun to watch. He's a complimentary. He can compliment someone real good.
Right, but you can't win just playing straight like that. Though you
can't play through him. Right. I don't think you can play through him. And every year that proves what we keep saying. I've been saying this for. I remember when he first came out. I thought he was going to be a lot. Well, I can't say that as far as that grit, that body, that Kobe, that LeBron, that Jordan.
He don't have that. He don't have that yet. I'm not saying
he averaged 3 points a game his first year in the league, bro.
Yeah, he wasn't very good. He made himself into what he.
I remember when he first got on the map.
He was like projected like 2 or 3 years out. You know what I'm saying? Like people, and even then, nobody's seen that coming because they drafted him 15th. He went number 15 in the draft, so nobody saw that coming.
Those usually the best players though, the ones the players that really get drafted late.
Leonard was drafted 15th. You know what I'm
saying? Let's ask some questions here and we can get on. So right now, seeing what the landscape is on the playoffs, who do we got in the finals?
I like Brooklyn and Utah.
Brooklyn, Utah.
I want the Suns.
I'm going Suns. I can't really go for the Suns when they beat the Lakers. So I'm gonna have to go with Utah and Brooklyn.
Utah and Brooklyn. All right.
Sleep on the Bucks though. This series might be tougher than it looked in the first 2 games.
Man, look, I still think the 76ers, man. I don't know.
On them either.
I can't sleep on them. But and Harden not gonna be there.
76ers are good. I don't see them beating. If Brooklyn's back healthy, I don't see.
You got Harden back. Yeah, I can't see it either. I can't.
Without Harden, because I don't. What about without Harden?
As long as you got
a chance.
Durant, any one of them 2 players can win a championship.
Yeah,
I would sit Harden, keep sitting Harden, and take our chance with the Bucks, and so he could be healthy for this 76er series, because that's the only way I think.
I agree with that. You need Harden healthy.
Yep, especially for them because they're gonna run some man and B you know how he is. I got the Jazz, man. I love how that dude playing, man. I got the Jazz and I got Brooklyn, but we need with Harden there. If Harden ain't there, then I got the 76ers, man.
They don't need them. Well, they need them, but as long as you got Durant, any one of them 2, you can do it.
But I think to beat the 76ers, though, we talking about the 76ers.
Right.
You kind of need Harden.
Yep. I agree with that.
Sleep on the Clippers either, man. Don't sleep on the Clippers.
I'm a Lakers fan, so it's only one LA team.
Snooze all the way. You gonna snooze all the way over the Clippers, huh?
Yeah, I am. I got to, man.
Donovan Mitchell, bro. That dude, they cracked the code, bro.
I don't want the Clippers to make it.
Nah.
You don't?
Nah.
I don't think they're better than Utah, but I mean, they blew them out last night.
They've been balling though. I give them that. They've been balling, but it's it's that Clippers curse, man.
They should be better.
It always comes back to
they
haunt
should be
you.
better than what they've been playing. They went to 7 games with the Mavericks.
They got the talent on paper, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Reggie Jackson, man. He's been stepping up.
Paul George won't show up. Kawhi show up. Like
I'm not.
George is the problem.
I'm disappointed in Paul George, man.
31 points last night, 36 minutes.
I know he balled.
34 points. Leonard, they can't be beat when they put them kind of numbers up like that. If they do that, they ain't gonna.
They gotta be consistent, though.
Yeah, they gotta be consistent. Exactly.
And that's not Paul George. He ain't consistent.
Definitely not.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But we'll see, man. It's
pandemic P.
But right now, the way it is, it's pretty much lined up. I feel any of these teams can get it right now. I don't see any clear blowouts right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if any of them. But I expect to see Brooklyn when the smoke clears, and I expect to see Utah because they just been winning all year. That Donovan Mitchell is some other being, man. He's young as shit too. So
he get hurt. He's not. He's a little hurt.
Game in the Grizzlies series.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, football. Julio Jones to the Titans. Will that make the Titans better to contend, or will it not? Will it just be a waste of money?
But can he stay healthy? That's
old now, bro. I ain't.
He can't stay healthy. That's the problem. If he healthy, yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. Football coming up. We'll be talking about that. Pick'em sports. Stay tuned for that. Shout out to RTO Beats in the chat. DJ Rec, what's going on? All right. So let's get to our topic of the week, ladies and gentlemen. This one comes to you by the comrade Lawrence Howard. Here we go. Real quick. The question is, to everyone out here in the chat and chime in as well, is why do people still believe in a system that condemned and imprisoned their ancestors? Pot, you want to set the
I want to hear you guys' opinion right now.
You don't want to set the scene?
Not yet.
I want to hear your opinion on it. I want to hear your opinion on it. I need to hear your opinion on it.
I'll start it off if you don't want to start off. I'll get Pot going.
Yeah.
That's because they hung black men in front of everybody. That kind of makes, and they raped black women in front of men, so it kind of makes you a little passive. Makes you go along with the system a little easier. So that's why they follow, because they don't want the confusion that comes with it.
Wow, that sounds so. I hate to say it, but that sounds. I ain't even gonna go there.
Hey, they didn't want to take the red pill. They wanted to take the blue pill, basically.
You want to be safe. You want to be safe, man. Everybody wants to be safe, man.
Everybody wants to be weak. Whatever we just said right now, whatever y'all just said that everybody wants to be weak. Everybody wants to be weak and dependable. Like
they want it easy. They don't want to have to, they don't want to try. They want it to come to them easy.
Can you say that someone maybe needs direction?
No.
And this is the blueprint or a sheet to follow. And people, when they are lost.
Well, people have families. They don't want to like people. We gotta understand. They have kids. They don't want to mess that up. They don't want to sacrifice their kids, put their kids into that. So they'll go along with certain things just to protect their family.
Now, with this question, are we talking about black or just everybody?
We're really talking about.
Well, I'm talking about my people. Really. We can talk about everybody, but
this is everybody.
I'm talking about what I know, and I know my people.
So what was the question again?
Yeah, is it black or is it everybody? That's what
why do people verbatim? Why do people still believe in a system that condemned and imprisoned their ancestors? Right, straight verbatim. Okay. Like you guys said.
And my ancestors was black, so that's all I can speak on.
Yeah, I can only speak on my folks. So
okay.
If we had somebody up here that was Asian, then Asians can speak on Asians, but I can't speak on black
everyone has their struggle. Rod Wallace in the chat says people think they have learned enough to play the game.
That could be it too.
Yeah, they learned enough to play the game, but they're still in submission,
right?
Because they still give in and still believe in. From generations, we've seen this. We all in our 40s right now. We've seen that you never win. We've seen every time when you pick a president, whatever, anything you sign up for, you never win. You're still always the victim. So why are you participating in a game that there's no place for you. Like, why are you still believing in a system that really just you're just saying things, but it's like we say stuff and we feel like we're a part of it, but we're just a number. You know what I mean? Like voting, for instance. You know, people vote and they feel like they're important. They feel like they had, you know, they're getting their word across. They're being heard.
That's what it is right there. That's what it is. They want to feel important, want to feel like they're part of the America.
Yeah.
And the favorite thing is that, you know, our ancestors died for us to have that. And that's true, that we respect that. But they was doing what they thought was right at the time.
They had to survive. They had to. So they felt that's what they needed to do.
Yeah. I mean, we respect that. People think if you don't vote, then you don't respect that. But that's
right.
I disagree with that.
Well, that's a choice. That was a choice. You have the right to and the right not to. That's what that fight was for. It wasn't just all black people got to vote or else.
Well, do you believe that
right choice?
It's more like they found a way to make you submit even more now. Now you play the game now. It's not like
everybody plays it to an extent. We all play it in some form of fashion. It's the world we're living in right now. Now some may play it more to, you know, but we all have to play some way.
Can I ask this question? Do we still feel like we have to play the game, being at this and in these times you still feel you have to play the game differently than the next one? Meaning, you know, different cultures. Like, for instance, like I tell you, like my dad's always told me, like, you know, for him, getting where he needed to go, it was never a straight line there. He always had to do what he had to do, and he didn't have it, and everything wasn't laid out. And if you followed this man, you would get to where you needed to go. You always had some obstacles in your way, and a certain way we had to do things because of who we were and what the stereotype was. Shout out to Rod Wallace, by the way, because he came up with a great thing to talk about as well. But I kind of laid back to that. Like, we still feel we have to, and nothing is handed to us. We all know that, especially us. I can't speak for the next one, but I could speak from people that I know that have been handed things in life and they didn't work for it. Should they feel, you know what I'm saying? Should they feel like, you know, you when you get something you don't work for, you don't appreciate it. But
you feel entitled. You have a sense of entitlement.
When a job says equal opportunity or competitive, I never felt that applied to me. I always felt that I always had a stigma or a stereotype over me, and I had to prove them different to get to where I needed to go. By playing the game, huh?
But truth is, you're not really proving anything. No matter how hard you do in this world, proving ain't doing nothing. It's just making you more of a submission. You know what I mean? It's putting you more in submission because you're trying to prove to somebody that you can play a position that you shouldn't even have to be trying to prove anyway. You shouldn't even be trying to play the game.
Not that. Not that. I'm not proving anything, but I'm saying, like, I'm telling you from my personal experience, when I go into a new place of employment or even when I was in business for myself and I'm trying to get accounts and stuff, I have a stereotype that has already been established about me that I'm late, that I'm lazy. I always feel like I have to wipe that off of my slate because I'm already in the hole before I even do anything.
Right. So you have to do more. You feel like you have to do more than the next man.
Right.
And really prove yourself to them.
Like, that is right. Try to let them know that that's not what it is. You're stereotyping me because you don't know me, you don't know my culture, you don't know where I come from. All you're going by is what you see on TV or what is portrayed of us. I see that from personal experiences. So it's like, I gotta show you that that's not the case. That's not what it is. Everyone says, people from the South of us, they're hard workers. I see differently. I see people all the time like that. That's the stereotype they have, but that's not the case because I show you, man, a handful of ones that are lazy as shit. It's just a stereotype, and a lot of people, when they don't know something, they go with the stereotype from what they hear by the masses. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with Mexicans. Mexicans are known for being such hard workers and all that. But I know damn well not all of them are that.
Hell
yeah,
no.
but they work together though. Mexicans know how to build structure. They know how to structure them.
Leave them in the house and they'll come up.
Right. They know how to work together.
That's how you save
we
money.
see, right? We see that in I think it was either Asbury Neptune. They had I think it was Avon or something. They had a house. It was like 30 of them in there. Yeah, 3-bedroom. They was just piling up, man, air mattresses and stuff on the floor. They was, working. One would come home, the other one would go out, and they would do that. Next thing you know, they would.
Then they put their money towards something. That's why they got these landscaping businesses. They all in their house, but they're working on a plan.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of them send money back home too, though.
That too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. They do. Can we say that I guess we can't speak on them because we're not from that, but I mean, I look at that and I'm like, all right, what did they have to do? A little sacrifice here. They weren't going
economics.
Yeah, but they didn't have to pay taxes either. They had a head start, period. They didn't pay taxes, none of that stuff. So
even still, they kept that money in house. They ain't, they didn't. Nah, not saying all Mexicans or whatever spend whatever don't have flashy things, but that ain't what you see all the time. You know what I mean? It's the majority of black people with the flashy.
Yeah, that's us. As soon as we get a little money, we want to go buy the new car.
Right.
That gets boring as we get older, though. Buying stuff, like doing certain things. Sometimes I think we buy stuff just to keep our mind occupied. Most of the time we doing things to keep our mind occupied from repeating the same stuff or thinking the same stuff.
Yeah, and what I think is to make ourselves feel good. Like it's a lot of self-hate, man. Yeah. And when you throwing these expensive clothes, that may make you feel good for a minute. They think that they're keeping up with the Joneses or whatever, but that's in actuality, man, they wasting money, man.
And Joneses don't even spend that kind of money.
Yeah, they just keep up the Joneses type of mentality, Ricks. I've been seeing that almost all my life of things. I remember my parents, I used to hear stuff like that, keeping up with the Joneses. It's just all about, instead of, I think everyone has a different, everyone should, to me, have a different outlook on success for them and goals and stuff, but you can't do that when you're trying to keep up with the next man. Yeah, it's a little good friendly competition. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not
good, everybody likes clothes.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but that's us. What the richest people in the world, when you see them, you see how they dress? They have some old ass sneakers on, old ass Nikes, some.
And I'm gonna tell you why they look like that, Cole.
Like because they got money. You won't even know they got money, and they be the motherfuckers on the planet.
That's actually the way to do it. You're not supposed to show your money. You're not supposed to show your money.
But the bank account is fat. You know what I'm saying? Right. We look like we got the money. We might have $200 in our bank account.
We ain't got shit.
We look good. You look at it, we're like, damn, money. He making
fly. Hey, yeah, she fly. He flies. Yeah, he ain't got nothing, man.
But I think we all want the image. I think we need the feeling because we're not there. So we've been
put down so much. I definitely get what you're saying. We need that feeling to make ourselves feel good. Because like I said, so much. It's self-hate. Like we've been getting beat down, being told we're ugly, all this. So that makes us feel like we're something, which is it's only a material item.
But syndrome? Is it that? No, that ain't supposed to be something totally different, right? Post syndrome.
Post PTSD.
PTSD.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
That's
you can take that to that. Definitely.
What you gotta say?
Past experiences.
I want to hear what Dre got to say.
Well, PTSD is the answer to your original statement opening the show. Yeah. That's why. So you are like a virus in the system. I'm talking to you, Pop. You have a view of, I don't want to conform to anything. That's just you. So you can't pose a question when your reality is really of a viral nature.
Break it up.
I know.
Damn.
Oh,
Rick. All right, we'll come back to him. Jay, once you get going, we'll let you get back.
Lost you, man.
I ain't heard nothing from Malcolm. What's up, Malcolm?
Conform to structured society.
Yo.
Break it up bad. Brother Malcolm, where you at?
I'm right here.
Who's that?
Right here.
Who's that from?
I was waiting for Dre to
break it up, Dre.
You break it up a little.
Go ahead, Dre, man. Get back on it, man. Come on, get back on
cut
it.
Out.
Could y'all hear me?
After you said Pop was a virus.
Malcolm did hear that shit.
Right.
That was going first, right?
I am against everything, bro. I don't believe in nothing. But go ahead.
Nah, what I was saying was the PTSD is an answer to your original statement. The reason why you are viewing things the way you are because you're a virus to the system. Everybody is not a virus to the system. The PTSD is validating why people conform with the system we have today. Now, if you want to get a little deeper, if you are a virus, then you step out of the thing and you look back on it and you have the power to dictate what's for you and what's not for you. And then you judge everybody else why they're still following the crowd or the herd.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be angry at that because you were once the same individual that was plugged up to the matrix. You got to have some sort of empathy on other people's positions while they're still plugged in. You can't be angry at that. You have to have empathy and understanding.
Right, because you were once there.
You were once there.
Right.
I don't know, but would you say a virus or more of a glitch? Because the virus kind of takes over, right? He ain't taking.
I think it's a virus, man.
Well, he's a virus because
he's not supposed to be. He's not supposed to be thinking like that.
Exactly,
right.
And at the same time, a glitch could be fixed.
True.
He's a virus.
Viruses is to ruin the whole system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's not ruining the system.
Well, no. Let me complete my statement. He's a virus because he's not supposed to be there, and he can infect other people with his ideology.
Okay, I got you.
And at some point, it corrupts the entire system, and the whole system falls.
Okay.
So that's what's happening now. The fact that we even discussing this shit in itself is giving credence to the fact that we're having a conversation about the system and how the system is not right and why everybody else is still conforming to the system and they don't see what you see.
All right.
So fast forward 25, 50 years from now, the magnitude of this thought and how big it's going to be. So we are all technically viruses because we ain't even supposed to be having this type of discussion.
Right.
Like Malcolm X was a virus to the Nation of Islam.
or we were a virus the first episode when we used we were a virus the first episode when we used the C word. That's why they got the copyright strike, because that's going against, that's putting the monkey wrench and everything. We're not supposed to be trying to break that down, and the C word. I ain't even saying it no more.
They basically fool you to not even fool you. They
want you to stay with the script.
Just to stay in shackles, though. It's like people are, don't take these shackles off me, baby. You know what I mean? Please don't take these shackles.
They don't know what to do. And
Go ahead.
Now, I was just saying, when the shackles are off, they wouldn't know how to control. They wouldn't know what to do anyway if their shackles.
That's what I'm saying.
Their mind is so conditioned. They wouldn't know.
We actually talked about this last night on the show. And here's the thing. The system that has been set up eventually is going to it's crumbling as we speak. And there's going to be some dark days ahead that we need to prepare for, whether you want to accept that or not. Deal with it when it shows up, or you prepare accordingly. The bottom line is the ones who are controlling the system have pretty much lost. It's pretty much a wrap at this point. We're watching a very slow demolition of an empire that has been built up and been going on for all this time. The thing is, people that's within the control paradigm have no choice at some point but to do for self. And that's coming. So when you take away the fact that people that are a virus like Pot, who want to have this freedom to do what they want, they're not really prepared for that. Like Rick said, if you take away the fact that you got to maintain your food system, you got to maintain your financial structure, you got to maintain your medical infrastructure, people are going to lose their fucking minds.
They don't know what to do because they so used to running to a certain group of people or whatever. They don't know where to start from. They don't have a clue. We don't. I'm gonna put myself in there. We don't have a clue.
Right. We don't. But the beauty of the situation is, we as a civilization had to evolve to a technically advanced society where we have the capability,
Yeah.
It's just that the mentality is going to have to take a hit. We're going to go through shock, but we still have the machinery, the agriculture, and everything that we built up to maintain our society going forward. But we're going to have to be the ones who are going to be in charge of that, not worrying about a government or bankers to handle all that shit. We're going to be the ones that's going to have to take care of that.
But you know how easy it is? I mean, like, say that happened.
It ain't going to be easy.
No, but say that happened and they took away the groceries at the grocery store. What would you do to feed your family? Do you know how to have a garden? Do you know how to go hunt? These are the things that we got.
The basics we need to know.
Yeah, go fishing. Know how to hunt. Because all they got to do is take the food away to grocery stores and we fucked up.
But I'm saying we don't know our basics. That's actually basic stuff, like growing your own food, fishing. That's basic. Right. We don't know these basic things. They got us so distracted. We don't know the basic things to survive anymore.
And if you think about it, we're programmed to throw away things that we need. Like, for instance, we throw away seeds and all kinds of stuff. After we eat our fruits and all that stuff, we throw away the seeds, throw it in the garbage, all kinds of shit. It's like we so dependent on getting things handed to us once it's taken away, so, but at the same time, that's why when I took my I'm going to say 9.5 days I fast. I just ate a piece of watermelon once a day for 9 days.
That's good.
And I trained. I did everything that they said you don't supposed to do. I did. So you think about it, even in the language, there's a prison. Even how, it's like they imprison you even in the language. Like, it's forbidden to do this. Everything that's forbidden is damn near freedom.
Right.
If you if you break those walls with where it's forbidden, that's where you find a garden and everything. That's where you find everything. You know what I mean? And from experience, we can go a long time without food. We were designed to be able to do that. To adapt.
More than what we think. We definitely think.
Some people think they
got water. You need water though. But food.
Water. I don't know about that either, Kareem. You could probably go a long time without that too.
Water, our body's made out of water.
You gotta get some drip.
Yeah, bro.
You ain't gotta have a gallon.
There's a book.
There's a book. Go ahead.
There's a book called The Phoenix Protocol that covers fasting in a very, very detailed manner. And it speaks of, if you do not have water, your body actually can produce water for an extended period of time without you actually consuming water. And what happens is, when you don't consume the water, your body pulls the water from fat inside the body. And what happens is your body goes into a phase that they call autophagy. And autophagy is a phase where your body scavenges and eats all the dead cells, viruses, fat, anything your body don't need, anything that's harmful. And after you pass that phase, it produces stem cells from your bone marrow. The stem cells go in and repair everything that has been damaged over time from just eating fucked up food and a bad diet in an environment. So you actually get a whole new system. This is why when you have a child, they ask you, do you want to keep the core blood? I know I was asked that when I had my kids.
Afterbirth?
The afterbirth. It's called core blood. In core blood, that's what the stem cells are. Mm-hmm. The hospital is going to give you the option to keep those stem cells either on cryo, but you got to pay them X amount of thousands of dollars to keep that shit stored. Most black people can afford that. I know some black people actually take the shit and put it in the freezer. It's just don't lose your power. You're going to be fucked. But those stem cells is something that the body is designed with to go in and repair anything fucked up in your body. The hospital takes those stem cells, use them for their own research, and they also sell them to other people. So the bottom line is, we have a repair mechanism, but it's only kicked in if you don't have access to your stem cells from birth that you've kept. It kicks in after a certain amount of time when you go through a phase of autophagy. This is why fasting can extend your life dramatically, but most people are not prepared to go through that phase because of the addiction of the food. It's almost like being addicted to a drug.
Yeah.
Right.
And the after effects of not eating is horrible, depending on how toxic you are.
Exactly.
So a lot of things they do tell us are in fact wrong.
Like eating 3 times a day.
So,
you got to have a certain amount of calories.
If you're being fed a bottle, you could get that all day if you're being breastfed. Yeah, but if you think about it, before all the system, we weren't eating like that every day. We had to find food just like all these other animals. All
I
these
follow
other
that food pyramid. I follow.
So our body is guaranteed, and if you can fast on purpose like that, then just imagine what you can do if you have to not eat for a certain period of time. It's harder when you know you can eat. I'm talking about seeing niggas around you with food, McDonald's, all kinds of shit. That shit made me so mentally strong at that point in my life. I was so mentally strong after it was all done. Everything that fazed me before that wasn't even a thought anymore. My mind was so strong from addiction. I wasn't addicted to nothing. I was addicted to emotions. I wasn't addicted to none of that stuff. I seen the world in a different light. But when I messed my system up again, started getting back to what we call the norm, eating again, start eating all kinds of crap.
Eating at McDonald's like.
So my mental was toxic again. I can tell a difference. I start thinking toxic again. Yeah. My body is different. You know, you feel stronger because you got all that food and you got all that supply of energy. But at the same time, the effect is completely different. One is short term and one is long term. So it depends on really what you're looking for or how long you want to live too. Because that's abuse. You're abusing your appetite. You're abusing your body because of your addictions. Is abuse.
Yeah, your food messes with your mind. The wrong foods can mess with your mind and all that. Yeah, so you got to feed the body. You got to feed the mind.
Yeah, and this probably weird to y'all, but I feel better when I don't eat. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's not weird. That's normal.
I don't eat heavy.
Good. Feel better.
I don't eat heavy meals. I eat small meals throughout the day. Right. I probably have about 2 smoothies throughout the day. I don't put my digestive system through a lot of excess work.
We got to work.
Right. It's just like a car. Go ahead.
But this goes back to the original statement at the top of the show. You know, why do people conform to a system that enslaved their ancestors? And it's a level of addiction. It's a level of mind control. It's a level of dependency. And it's an entire reality that has been birthed through generations. So you can't make a statement like that. You have to understand that it took hundreds of years to get to this point of breeding in a mentality. Like Rick said, there's certain things that were done and everybody had to witness lynchings, burnings, you name it. That does something to your subconscious mind. That information is coded in your DNA. You have a child. That child goes forth. You're dead, long gone. Your child is still encoded with that trauma. They grow up. They have kids. They pass that genetic code on and so forth and so on. And here we are, a perfectly oiled, trained machine without shackles, without whips, without none of that shit. And we fall in line because we've been genetically programmed like robots to follow suit. Whether somebody come out and tell you to do it, you're going to do it because you're genetically programmed. What's happening now is the universe is breaking all of that shit up. And we are now waking up slowly but surely and questioning everything and having discussions like this that are typically taboo. You ain't supposed to be talking like this. That's testament that things are changing and it's beyond your control, but there's something else in control that's saying, hey, it's time now.
You damn virus, you.
Not being a virus, man.
Yeah, you gotta be a virus, baby, because like he said, it's transcending. It's gonna transcend, or it's gonna mold itself into a whole different monster.
Change the world, Pot. Change the world, man.
That monster coming. You planting seeds when you talk. When you talk, you plant seeds. Even if that person not listening, they DNA listening. It's in their DNA.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to listen, but when your seed, when you create your seed, that information is going to be stored there, even if you're not paying attention to it.
Stored.
So
you got to water it. You got to get it sunlight, but it will grow.
Yeah, it will grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
100%.
It's all good. I mean, from my vantage point and everything that I've studied, and all of the schools of thought that I've been through and had the chance to talk with some elders, you know, at the end of the cycle, we win, hands down. So, you know, whether we live to see the ultimate change, but we win at this, period. It's not even up for debate. We win. The entire planet is browning. There's nothing they can do to stop that process.
Everybody see it. Everybody can see it. You actually can see it if you're looking.
If you're looking.
Yep. All these mixed babies and nothing. I'm not saying nothing wrong with mixed children or whatever, but we got a lot of them.
It's a gift and a curse when you deal with stuff like that, because it's a beautiful thing to utilize your free will to do what you want, but at the same time you got to look at the ultimate goal on where this entire species is moving.
Right.
So this is why they're scrambling to be able to have kids without, you know, a man and a woman. This is why they're scrambling to create a level of intelligence where human contact is not needed. This is why they're scrambling now to make food that you can put in a box versus you actually preparing it and having it fresh or raw.
Or you can go get some melanin shots if you
exactly. Exactly. They're trying to create an artificial way to survive, because if you do not have the biology to survive where we're going, it deletes you from the system. Not because I said it and I'm in my ego when I dislike people. No, it ain't got nothing to do with me. The universe has already sanctioned this process. This shit been going on since the beginning. So we're going back around where it all started. So certain things got to play out. Certain things will be injected into the system. Certain things will be deleted from the system. Anything that's not needed or weak is going to be deleted from the system. We're seeing that shit now. It's not a personal thing. It's not an emotional thing. We're just dealing with change.
Natural process.
Natural process.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Smooth. What's your opinion on this? What's your opinion, Malcolm?
The original topic.
Yeah, whatever topic. Go ahead.
Brother, sitting back and listening, man. I'm enjoying.
But on some real shit, Smooth. As far as the system and why I can probably get in on this too. And I don't want to say, I don't want y'all to take this wrong. Y'all actually was more part of that system, I would say. You understand what I'm saying?
I can speak on that. As far as that, I always had when I actually went in, I went in 2 months after high school, and to me, I looked at it, you know, and all for, you know, I was in ROTC. I was also an Army brat. My dad was in the military, so I was kind of around it my whole life, and I understood that there's perks to it, but you gotta, like, I didn't go in saying, hey, I'm ready to die for this shit. My thing was, let me get in here and let me do my time and I know right now ain't no shit popping off because, hey, let's be honest. I mean, there's some shit that I would die for. You know what I'm saying? It was for my family. I'd die for my family.
Not a man if there ain't nothing that you wouldn't die for, bro.
Huh?
You're not a man if there ain't nothing that you would die for. You're not a man.
But you know what my philosophy is, though? I mean, I don't want to cut you off.
Let why I finish, bro.
Go ahead.
Shit was I? But I also had in the back of my mind that I'm just here to try to better myself and take advantage of the benefits that, you know, it's a game to be played. So do I believe in this whole Iraq war and all the politics that people are, you know, they're sitting in a room that never had got any dirt on their hands? Yeah, I knew that existed. And I always knew the game. I wasn't oblivious for that, and I wasn't naive. I understood that because being around who I was around growing up and hearing things in the environment that I was in, I understood that. But my sole motivation for even going into it is I felt I understood it and I could manipulate it for it to work for me. Now, did it? In a sense, it did. In a sense, it didn't, because I didn't retire from it, and I didn't get all the benefits that I could have got with schooling and the GI Bill and what do you call it? Not the GI Bill. What do you do for the mortgage, VA loans and shit like that? No, I didn't take fully advantage of that. So, yeah. That's where I'm at with it. I always understood and had it in the back of my mind. I felt
I can respect that.
There's always odds and shit to things, and you know, I'm the kind of person I don't like to walk into things unless I know the odds and stuff. And yeah, I wasn't trying to be going over fucking on 13 Bravo sitting on the front lines ready to catch a bullet for
Okay,
trying to weapons of mass destruction that never existed. Now I understood that didn't exist. I knew that they didn't exist when they were talking about Iraq having weapons of mass destruction. I already knew that the plans were the weapon not having them because they couldn't there was dangerous for them to have weapons of mass destruction in the ground.
Yo, they went over there and didn't even find a fucking firecracker.
They did.
Yeah, but hold up. But you know what's so weird about that? Oh, go ahead. You know what's so weird about that though? Nobody attacks anybody with weapons of mass destruction. That's basic common sense anyway. So I never go for that thing anyway. If you got weapons of mass destruction, I'm not fucking with you. We can stay equal. I'm not going over there fucking. You got weapons of mass destruction. So what's the point of having weapons of mass destruction if you can't use them on my ass when I'm trying to fuck you up to try to get them?
Well, that's not. First of all, if you wasn't in it, don't speak on it. Pop.
No, I see it from a whole different perspective. I don't need.
I think you're talking. You're referencing more than this. Is why I'm gonna make the distinction. You're referencing more of a policy. People in the military like me and why we don't control the policy part. All we are is we people that follow orders.
All in line.
You know what I'm saying? If you have a problem, if anybody have a problem with my service or with Y service or whatever, your problem isn't really with us being in the military. It's really along with the policy and the policy makers. Those are people that you vote for or you choose not to vote for. That's what your problem is with that person. So you know what I mean? Like why what you referenced to as far as what was going on over in Iraq, really you wasn't in control of that, brother. When the moment you
absolutely
signed
not.
Up,
no.
Yeah, the moment you signed up, you had orders to follow and you followed those orders.
And you know and when I ETA'd and I had a choice to stay in or stay out, that was I could have stayed in and I've been right.
Right. That's you taking control of your life back. I did the same thing. I did 8 years and I took back control of my life because there were things that I wanted to accomplish for myself.
Right.
But when you're in there,
you did very well for yourself, and you did it right. You use the military to better yourself in, and you actually did it right, brother. Yeah.
So I just got a personal thing when people attack people in the military and say, "Oh, well, you should have did this," or if first of all you didn't sign up, don't speak on that. And secondly,
I don't think nobody attacked the people in the military.
He's being defensive.
Well, let's let the man speak for himself because
it's the system we're speaking on, not you, Malcolm. Thanks for whatever you did for the country.
I just wanted to make that distinction.
Yeah, we know that. We know that. You ain't got to make that. But as the system, that's what we was talking about the system more than you being an individual.
But I got a big question. We're about to take it somewhere else. I got a big question for Malcolm and Aaron. Okay. What if I'm just saying, this is a big question. I mean, maybe y'all shouldn't even answer this question. Maybe y'all don't have to answer.
I already know what you're going to ask. Go ahead.
Ask the question.
I already know.
If your employer told you had to wipe out innocent people, would you do it? Would you do it? You know what I mean? Like, because you're the arms of the system, so you are accountable in some kind of way. And people seem to look past the people that are actually making the movement. Like, you know what I mean?
Follow regular job.
In the military,
we're talking about regular job.
Your employer. What are you talking about?
I mean, because it's
the government.
War.
He's talking about the system. Told you to kill.
I'm talking about the system. Y'all talking about the entire system.
Oh, I mean, if it was my regular job and like I say, I work down at the freaking gas company and they told me to go kill it. No, hell no. But
this is a soldier.
This is war is war though. When you're in the military and you take the oath, war is war. In Vietnam, I had my uncle on here, man, how they went in Vietnam and wiped out whole villages because they were storing shit for the.
That, Aaron.
Yeah, you got people trying to kill you.
Here. I'm talking about people here.
Hell no, I wouldn't do that shit. They wouldn't pay me enough. Shit, it ain't war. We in war.
That's not how war works. You don't get a message from somebody saying, "Hey, kill this."
Well, he's not talking about war. He's talking about, like, say,
if you had to destroy a town or
with people make up some shit that ain't gonna happen, man. Let's not do the hypothetical shit.
Nah, but hold on. He's saying because y'all saying
that type of shit doesn't
soldiers follow orders. He's just saying he's just making a scenario.
They have to be lawful orders. A lot of orders go through shit that.
But this is war though. War's not like that.
Well, if you're talking about somebody shooting back, okay. Well, tell me what war is then, man. What's war?
You tell me, soldier.
I'm trying to.
You're talking about war. Say you had a lockdown.
I'm a soldier out here.
War doesn't work that way.
Okay, I didn't sign up
about
with
what's out there, but right now we're speaking on something purely military, right?
Yo, but I don't think you're talking about
with the system, soldier.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Say we had a shutdown here, national security type shit.
Yeah.
And you got people in the street. They don't want to hear what y'all telling them to do. They don't want, and they tell you to take force and do this and that. I think that's more what he talking about.
Now that's realistic because you got riot control and shit like that.
I think that's more than National Guard. I can't.
Yeah, that's more than National Guard though.
Yeah, I did.
But all I'm
when I got out, I
is,
went to National Guards.
Do they have enough power to tell you to wipe out your own fucking family? That's all I'm saying. Because
this is a pop point because y'all going around with pop.
They don't want to answer that.
That's like a hypothetical that would never happen.
Regardless, man, all we speaking is hypothetical.
Let me add on. Yeah, let me add on to that because I got a couple of family members that's in the military. My brother, he retired from the Navy, and we have these talks. One thing I would say, because I was going to say it, but Malcolm, he kind of clarified that for you guys.
He did.
The military is just a branch or a tool that's used by policymakers and those who are in charge to enforce certain things and decisions. They're personally not responsible for going off on their own egotistical ways to carry out any type of duties or missions. They have orders to do that. So they have an
egotistical maniac that's in charge.
Martial law. That's the word I was looking for.
Hold up. You're right, Rick. There are people above them who are, out of order for whatever reason. But we don't.
Military. You're talking more about the policy makers, man. You know what I mean? The people that get voted into office.
That's exactly who I'm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
what I'm talking about.
That's exactly who I'm.
That's exactly that part up. Yeah.
That's exactly who I'm talking about. Those are the people who you should have the issue with when it comes to why the military has to carry out certain things. So any nation needs a military, hands down, whether you like the military or not. Even if they were, quote unquote, for the sake of conversation, the good guys, and there was no Illuminati or bankers or ruling elite, whatever you want to name them, let's just say they didn't exist. And it was just us, and we had a standing army or military. We still need that as a nation because you're going to have an issue with somebody where you're going to have to call on your soldiers to go fight.
Yeah, we got that.
It's also, it's rooted, it's defense anyways. It's defend.
But correct.
Don't have a issue with the military, man. I can't stand those people.
Nobody has an issue with Nobody said, but it is like a branch of the system, whatever y'all want to call it, a branch, leaf, I don't care what you call it. But it is part of the system. You have to follow certain orders, even if you don't agree with those orders. You have to follow them, and that's part of the system.
That's the point Pop was trying to make. Not
on what level. I don't care.
You don't get to disagree or agree.
Individual soldier, would you do it? Is what he was trying to say. You the
it's like if you come in and kill me, am I supposed to not look at you as the enemy and look at the people that's giving you the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I'm just like, okay, these niggas coming out here about the.
If America wanted to kill you, bro,
never do.
Let
me say this. Never do you say both sides feel like that they're whatever they're fighting for, that they're the good guys. So when we went over in to the Vietnam conflicts, the Viet Cong thought that we were the freaking the bad guys, and we thought we were trying to.
I think what Pot is talking about is people is back home, people is family. What I'm saying is if America, if somebody in America wanted you dead, bro, you'd be dead.
You the soldier.
There's laws that protect the military from
unlawful orders. Yeah, you don't have
Uniform
to follow
Code of Military Justice, UCMJ.
That you have. So you cannot give unlawful orders to military people. But in your hypothetical situation, if somebody wanted you dead, Potty, you'd be dead.
I don't know. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with it. I'm gonna tell you why I can't agree with it. Because where my mind is, I play a different part in the universe. So I really can't.
Let's not debate.
I don't want to do the hypothetical shit.
Yeah, let's not do
the hypothetical.
It's dumb.
All right, we're not debating hypotheticals. Let's put them to bed.
Yeah, I'll lose, but I'm too smart when it comes down to survival.
I will say this, and it's just my opinion. I think if we were ever put in a situation where our military was being forced to do something on its own soil. I think there's too many patriotic people that are in the military with families that would not follow those orders.
And I know
if
your
it
home
came
story.
down to it.
But we're talking military on your own land, and it's an unlawful order.
But what about overseas though? What happens if you have to kill that family overseas? You have to carry out these orders.
That
it's been done. It's been done.
I'm just trying to see how
it works now. It's like you're not even a lot of the shit, bro. It's like a video game now, so you don't know who the fuck you're killing and shit.
Exactly.
They don't wear uniforms.
All I got to
now.
say is better somebody else than me and shit.
They don't have uniforms on and say, "Hey, I'm the bad guy." So a lot of innocent people have gotten even over in Afghanistan,
you don't get to make
Iraq.
The distinction again. I'm gonna say this again, so we clear this up. You don't get to make the distinction of who's a good guy and who's a bad guy. You don't get to make that distinction, bro.
No,
that's why I couldn't do it.
If you want a different
distinction, that's the crazy part.
So
we the bad guy
like
to
that,
them.
then put somebody else
They
in
the bad
office.
guy to us.
Well, put somebody in office who thinks that way. That's what I would have to say.
Basically,
I'm not in control of that.
You couldn't go
put
to
somebody in control. Put somebody who is in control who thinks that way in that position.
First of all, they're never.
That's not my job. That's your job.
And we can vote for it's the same thing.
Right, Malcolm.
Okay. Well, then if you think that way, then you can't have a problem with things on the other side of it.
This is why I don't vote.
We could have the same conversation about police officers.
Yeah.
This is why I don't
same
vote.
conversation.
Same exact conversation. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think we need to
move on.
Yeah,
Let's
we
move
need to
on.
move on. And
let's move on.
we need to do something on that too, maybe at a later date. And we also need. I wanted to do something on these new drugs out here, man, and our kids and the dangers of that, and how do we, how can we step up and make sure that our children are protected from the substances and things that are outside of our houses. I think that's a very good topic too, and I'm pretty sure that the chat would like to talk about that as well. Everyday work and stuff.
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think before we can talk about the drugs that are outside of our house, I think we need to talk about the drugs that are inside of our house that not even. We could throw the prescription drugs in there, but there's drugs that are in our food that are killing us, and it's a soft kill that you're not even aware of.
Yeah.
I think that's the first line of defense before we even get to, hard drugs out in the street.
Well, we tackle it all.
So if we go down that route, let's start at the beginning and then work our way outward.
Let's start at sugar and how
exactly.
That's the start of addiction. That's
number one.
The starts.
That's number one.
That's
number one.
Sweet addiction, baby.
That's number one. Sugar is a legalized drug, hands down.
So that gets you ready for all the other drugs and kind of get you used to the addiction part of things. So
it's killing more people than recreational drugs. Hands down.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
All right, now if we're gonna go there, we're going deep then. We're gonna start that and then go to the recreational drugs. Yeah, it's gonna be a deep one. It's gonna be a good one.
Recreational drugs actually seem like they've been quiet more. It seems like all the other shit killing people, like all these new names and all this stuff, and they telling you, oh, if you take this, you might have this dysfunction and that dysfunction and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's all pharmaceutical. What they call it?
Yeah, the farm. That's a thing too. They prescribe you all these medications that cause other issues.
Investment. Once
big
you take
money.
a drug, you become an investment to the drug creator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
don't go there. You're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about that whole thing. That's a whole nother one. Because I want to talk now. We're gonna keep going.
That's my nigga.
We might well save that one. With the pharmaceutical.
One hard one. Knock a nigga right on his ground. Never wake up again.
That's the drug. That's like I said, it starts with the sugar. We start with the sugar at a young age.
Sugar's gonna be it.
Shout out Digger Hurts in the chat. He says, well, sugar is as addictive as Coke. Yeah.
It's even worse, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's more addictive than Coke, man.
This is why when you fast, when you're doing a fast, this is why the withdrawal symptoms are highly uncomfortable and can be bad for a lot of people because you don't realize how addicted you are until you take all that stuff out your system and your body goes through those withdrawals. That's when you realize.
Or we wait until a future.
Yeah, I hear what y'all. I would like to, the effects of this lean shit they're drinking and shit like that, and there's a lot of kids out there overdosing.
Yeah, but it had to start from somewhere. Y'all missing the starting point. Y'all want to go to the ending point without going to the starting point.
Lean is Kool-Aid. Lean is Kool-Aid.
But that's the gateway to sugar.
Lean is Kool-Aid.
But it gets you ready for addiction. Is what was my point. To get you ready for addiction.
I ain't never did none of that shit before.
Just like
I mean, we old the whole.
Actually, if you think about it, though, Santa Claus, Santa Claus is a belief too. Like when they feed you like for you to believe in stuff like Santa Claus and all that kind of stuff. That prepares you for all types of religions and stuff like that. It's the same thing.
Mental food, mental health. I mean,
mental drugs.
Yeah.
That's funny you say that, Pot, because you and my mother on 602 Emory Street
man
told me Santa Claus wasn't real. I remember that before my mother passed. Y'all told me that. But I don't remember that.
Yeah, we don't play the Santa Claus.
So we already grooming you. So they already grooming you to believe in all that mystical and all that. There's like you being groomed from a child to believe in all these things.
I wonder what was the motivation behind the Santa Claus thing.
That's what the motivation is. The motivation is to get you to bite the bait to believe in something that you never seen, never experienced. It puts in your mind, it makes your mind more open or more, you know what I mean? It gives you the delusional mindset.
Okay, it opens you up for other stuff. It's grooming
you to be delusional.
Yeah.
Like for you to accept stuff like studies been shown, but nigga, you never showed me a study. But you said you didn't study.
That's on one level.
So it's training you stuff like it's training you to accept what you never seen or that hasn't been confirmed or anything. You have no confirmation at all.
You blindly follow. You blindly believe.
Going with that one, Pot. I like where you're going with that one. Yeah. So they open you up early to it.
Yeah. So when a person tells you something, go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you. They open up you early to just start believing. They condition your mind to just accept things you never even seen.
Feeding you the bullshit lies, man. Get you used to it. So now you falling in the line. As you get older, it's easier to keep you in line. You fall in line a little easier. Everything falling in line.
When we was in high school in Asbury, they told us something like, what it was, 60. I don't remember the percentage, but all these people got AIDS. But they were saying it like even in the school, that shit was crazy. I'm like,
as a young kid, that shit was scary. They scared. They basically put fear.
They try to put fear in you.
Yeah.
You got people that follow statistics. They think all that shit is real.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it ain't real, but
yeah, some of it is real. But
I believe it's something else. But being planned is like they use everything that's going on in the world. Like today, we got the internet, we got social media now. You can turn something small into something big easily. For everybody, if something happened to them, oh, they died by this, they died by that, they died by. It's like, again, no confirmation, but they're telling you all this stuff. They can control anything. They can make anything bigger than what it is.
The media, and this goes back to the question
the media, which is part of the system. Everybody trying to take themselves out the system. Yeah. We all in it to some extent. Some may be in too deep. Yeah. Some may be. I'm trying to escape it, which is hard. But we all in it.
Still in it.
Yeah.
There's only two ways out: transcendence, and the day that we are physically out of the system.
Yeah. You can't just say them words.
What you say?
You gotta break down
development.
Oh, okay. When people transition, they transition out of physical form into the etheric realm. For the layman, that would be death, right? Okay. The other transition out of the matrix is the entire control paradigm breaks down, and now you have to completely, at 100%, fend for yourself. And that in itself is terrifying for the average individual. It's easy for us to talk about that shit, but when you face with the reality of, damn, okay, I got drinking water. Society has collapsed. I know the water treatment system that's in my city is not functioning right now because there's nobody working there, right? How am I going to purify my water?
Right.
Something
Basic
simple as
shit,
that.
Man. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a wave of just reality checks, waves of them and waves of them and waves of them. Something Pot said last night on the show was very interesting. And when this happened, and it will, everybody at some point is going to have to play their part in maintaining the infrastructure of this system. We're going to have to go and we're going to have to work to maintain our nation, hands down. For the farmers who farm, you're going to have to go farm. For the technicians who fix shit and their engineers, they got to go do that. So we'll get past this. We're going to have to get past it. Yeah. We got too much technology not to carry on. Well, we got to get over that hump. And for those people who think this shit is going to keep going the way it is for the next 100 years are insane.
It's got to crash. Everything.
They are insane. Even your currency has to fail. All currencies fail at some point. You got to have a new economic system.
Yeah.
Like I said before,
that's
cryptocurrency is nothing but a digital credit system. If you watch, and this is crazy, but it's in hindsight. If you ever watched the sci-fi movie, Star Trek, Star Wars, what did they trade and pay people in? Credits. Everything was fucking credits. There was no paper money. I'm going to give you a bag of gold. None of that shit. The future of the economic system, cryptocurrency is nothing but digital credits. That's where we're headed. All this old shit got to go.
But to be honest with you, even with the bank, most of the money the bank have is not physical money.
It's digital credits.
Digital credit, what you're saying.
The money is for the regular people as a means of exchange to buy and sell shit. Yeah. And they got debt and inflation attached to it. So if you got a 5, it's a face note of five credits. Yeah. But you got debt attached to that note. You got inflation attached to that note, inflation. Yeah. So the bottom line is that whole system got to go, and it's going now. And that's why you see every corporation secretly and slowly incorporating themselves in some sort of blockchain digital format. Yeah. The niggas who are not paying attention, I'm only worried about my people, but the niggas who not paying attention to it, they're being distracted doing this, that, and the third. When the time comes when they flip the switch, they flip this shit over, and you ain't put yourself in position, you're going to be under a new control paradigm where a government system is going to say, hey, I'm going to pay you 1 million credits every month. You live off these credits. But here's the thing. Oh, you jaywalked last week. I'm going to deduct 500 credits from your ass. Oh, you didn't go to work a week. I'm going to deduct another 1,000 credits from your ass.
Yo, this is like Star Wars.
China already got this shit. Go look it up.
Yeah, China do got that system.
But China got everything. China's the new world order fucking country.
They more advanced.
But that same system was supposed to be implemented here. But that's a whole nother discussion. I talk about that shit on Brainwashed.
You know what's funny though? Did y'all ever catch up when Floyd Mayweather said to Logan Paul?
What you said?
I'm gonna get you for what you did to China.
No, I ain't see that.
You ain't see that meeting when they was talking, because Floyd was on something, he took it too deep. Mm-hmm. And I guess he was looking at Logan Paul as, America. So he was like, I'm gonna make you pay for what you did to China. And that's when they got, well, I'm gonna make you pay for what you did to your wife. It got real serious after that. But
now you're a virus. Pot, you're a virus.
he just switched up the whole.
You're a virus.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up today. Roger Wallace, RTO Beats, DJ Rec, Digger Hertz.
Man, there's so much to talk about, man. Damn.
There's a lot to talk about.
Damn, man. You need to go on a holiday. On a holiday, we should go like an all-dayer.
Join us next week. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode number 13 of Straight Up Podcast. Thank everybody for coming out. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Shadow Bop. Can you rock with your best when you shadow bop? Are you shadow?
Yeah, gotta upset the boy, man. He just left. Upset.